Patrick Walker has been going through the very latest files, joining us now live in studio with what he has found. Patrick.
Well, that's right. This batch shows what at least two sets of police officers were doing as the active shooter call went out, and then follows their responses. So for this one, we'll focus in on one of those units. Of course, we're not going to show any graphic video nor play any sounds of gunfire, but the video may still be disturbing to some, so you might want to look away for the next 90 seconds or so.
We stopped there. No plates or anything.
A routine traffic stop near the West Gate changes in an instant.
Hey, active shooter, Convention Center.
Active shooter at Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay.
This two-officer unit answers the call and rushes to the south end of the strip. You can see other police cruisers with lights on and sirens blaring. This officer tries to coordinate the response.
If it's still going, let's meet up like somewhere nearby. Let's gear up real quick and we'll go in as element.
It takes 5.5 minutes to get here, near Mandalay Bay.
Let's stop here and let's pack up right now. We'll make entry.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Seconds later, the officers decide it's time to gear up.
Let's park right here. Let's go.
The officer jumps out of the car and immediately puts on a SWAT vest.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out.
The officers form teams and head inside to a restaurant and clear it. Then they head out to the Mandalay Bay Casino floor where they hold their position. They stay and guard what appears to be the entrance to a stairway for about an hour until the video ends.
Well, in the release, we also see a pair of officers who were part of a group that was pinned down near a wall outside of the festival grounds. They eventually do make their way inside Mandalay Bay to help look for the shooter. We'll show you that coming up at 6. Back to you, Brian.
All right, Patrick, and we're continuing to comb through the last release of video as mentioned. Among that batch is body camera footage of a veteran police officer who says he froze in fear in the 31st floor hallway of Mandalay Bay while gunman Stephen Paddock opened fire from one floor above. In a written report, Officer Cordell Hendricks acknowledged being, quote, terrified with fear. His actions have prompted the police department to review whether lives could have been saved if he, a police trainee, and 3 hotel security guards, all armed, had acted faster to stop the shooting. They say officers are taught to stop a shooter, but not to take unnecessary risks.
Well, a California couple who survived the 1 October shooting says that their then unborn baby may be very well the reason why they're still alive today. Cammie and Elijah Bjorkman were originally near the stage during the Route 91 Harvest Festival, but because the couple was 3 weeks pregnant, they decided to move back away from the smoke and rowdier crowds, away from what would become the scene of America's deadliest mass shooting. On June 14th, 9 months after the tragic night, the Bjorkmans welcomed baby Rosalie into the world. They call her the rainbow after the storm.
I think that's just what we'll tell her is simply that she saved us. If I hadn't been pregnant with her, we might not be here, and that I think that's kind of cool that a 3-week-old embryo can do that.
Cammie says she later found out a woman who was standing near them originally was one of the 58 people killed in the shooting. Well, tomorrow, the United States of America will ring in her 242nd birthday.
And to help celebrate Independence Day, Americans everywhere will be attending maybe patriotic parades, throwing outdoor barbecues, gathering to watch fireworks, of course, blast off into the night sky. Now, tonight, we have team coverage on everything you need to know about the festivities going on around town.
Yeah, Orcomana has all of your fireworks info, as well as how some stands are giving back to the community. Ted Florendo's here with your holiday forecast. But first, Karen Castro is live at the Animal Foundation with tips on keeping your pet safe and calm this 4th of July. Karen?
Well, Christiane and Brian, a lot of family pets certainly get spooked by fireworks and unfortunately end up here at the Animal Foundation after running away. In fact, the Animal Foundation tells me the 2 days after the 4th of July are actually the busiest for them. Now, there are a range of things pet owners can do to try and keep their animals safe and calm. The first is to keep them inside, preferably in a center room away from windows. Now, some pet owners tell us they either try to play music or turn on the television to drown out the outside noise. But veterinarian Whitney Johnson says it's important to know what works and what doesn't work with your pets. She says prescribed sedatives are good for some animals, but pet owners can also try over-the-counter anti-anxiety supplements. She says some calming clothing like vests and shirts sometimes work. Johnson says stressed animals can misbehave and even hurt themselves by scratching. Now, for pet owners who don't know how their furry friends react to fireworks, Johnson recommends not leaving them alone.
If it's the first time that you're going through a 4th of July with your dog, probably best to kind of either have them with you or stay with them at home to kind of, see how they react, and so you can kind of better plan for next year.
Now, last year, the Animal Foundation received a total of 530 pets during the days following the 4th of July. Of those pets, only about 20% were reclaimed. And just a reminder, the Animal Foundation is waiving all fees to pick up lost pets starting today through July 10th. But remember, they can only hold animals for 72 hours or 3 days before they put them up for adoption. Reporting live, Karen Castro, 8 News Now.
Thanks, Karen. Fireworks here in the Valley can also have a positive impact. That's because proceeds from fireworks stands often help our community. 8 News Now reporter Orko Manna continues our team coverage with what one local stand hopes to do with their money. Orko?
Well, Brian, a requirement for fireworks stands here in the Valley is that there needs to be some sort of charitable cause behind them, and they must be completely not-for-profit. Now, this fireworks stand at Maryland and St. Louis is one of 3 in the Las Vegas area raising funds for Christ Church Episcopal. They need around $6,000 to help send dozens of local kids to a summer camp at Lake Tahoe. Sales have been good so far. They've made around $1,500 since opening up shop on June 28th. When all is said and done, they'll get to keep around 25% of the profits. They say as a church, they have limited funds outside of what they get from donations, so the money they raise selling these fireworks will make a big difference.
We're not going to have all the money from the stands, but the money we get is going to help a lot. Yes, for sure. Yeah, any money, anything comes from the stands, you're going to be a big help. TNT and other companies that sell fireworks, they provide that opportunity to the church, not only churches but nonprofits, to get some money that they can use in the community.
Church volunteers say they've been making around $300 a day. We saw a wide range of fireworks budgets, from people keeping costs down with a few small purchases to one group who spent up to $500 to celebrate the holiday. Now, fireworks stands expect sales to skyrocket tonight and tomorrow, which is when they say most people will come out to make a purchase. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Orko. The Valley